Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys, with your host, Matt Marrero, along with your other host,
Tristan Walter.
And what are we doing today, Tristan Walter?
Why do you always ask me, huh? Why can't... No, I'm kidding.
So do you not know, or what?
No. I totally know. We're talking about,
He has no idea.
what was the original name? Wasn't it just Black? Something like that?
Wait, what? Oh, Black?
No,
that's what
Bleach.
Right.
Oh, no,
right.
no. It was like, or was it White? I can't remember. Like, there was supposed to be an original, like the original concept, the title was just like completely different.
I thought you were kidding me. Oh, because I've called it Black
before,
I'm serious. So I thought you were messing with me. All right, no.
Yeah.
Or I thought you were making a joke on the fact that, and I haven't said this to you yet, but I nearly screwed up making the name of the podcast. Because usually, like in the past, we made some funny names. But this time out, recently we've gone for some more legitimate titles. And I laughed really hard because I tried to write the name of the OVA, but it's so close to another one that I wrote, Bleach OVA 1, Memories of Nobody.
Right.
And it took me about, I put it in the title, I put it in the short pitch that they have now for Blog Talk Radio, and I put it in the description. And I think it was only by the time I was putting the tags in that I was like, this isn't right.
Something's wrong here, but I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Literally, it's funny, too, because it's like, Matt, are you saying you forgot about doing it? No, it's just...
No.
Because I sat there and I was like, I think I've done this before. And so it's Memories in the Rain, not Memories of Nobody, right? For anyone who might not know about this OVA, it's Memories in the Rain. It is so it's basically episodes 8 and 9 combined.
Yeah.
Right? But you can't technically call it that because it was made, you can. Obviously you can, but the idea is that it was made before episodes 8 and 9 even existed. It's actually considered a pilot for the series.
Really?
It premiered, yes. I guess, I love this. I know you saw it, but it's really, because it doesn't say it in the actual episode, so it's really funny, where it's just like, I'm educating Tristan. It came out. It came out for the Jump Festa 2004 anime tour. So essentially it was made as like a pilot. I'm not saying it wouldn't, I don't think it would have not gotten picked up because, Bleach was very popular at the time. But definitely its popularity warranted this OVA to be made, right? Mm. And it really feels like a pilot, though, in a certain way because, you can sit there and go, why these 2 episodes? Why not the first one? It's like, well, it's the most emotional, I think, and it really gets you hooked into the series immediately, I would say. Yeah. Right? If you knew nothing about Bleach.
Yeah. Yeah, for the beginning season, it pretty much accurately describes the show in its whole, I would say.
Pain. Suffering. That old chestnut. Right? Just, I'm really sad all the time. Bleach.
Oh, God.
No, but yeah.
It's funny, though. The first, I could have sworn the first episode of the anime was the pilot because the first time I saw Bleach was actually with a friend of mine, and I forget what he got it in, but I could have sworn it was like a, I think it was in Shonen Jump, and he actually got, it was just the DVD, but it was the first episode, and maybe, something else on it, too. Maybe it was this. I could be wrong, but...
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no records of this being dubbed into English. It could have been this. It could have been just episodes 8 and 9, to be fair. But no, the first episode of Bleach was, and I know it's been a while for you, and you're into Bleach, but mostly into the movies and into some of the series. And I know it's been a while for you more so. But no, the first episode of Bleach was the whole Rukia with the family in the house.
Right, yeah.
And then it's just like, but that was making the deal and everything. This wasn't making the deal. The deal was already made.
Yeah. This was into the series a little bit more.
Right, yeah. But this is the main quote-unquote pilot. Yes, this is the quote-unquote pilot that I'm pretty sure has not been dubbed. Same thing with the other OVA. I don't know if that has to maybe do with rights and things like that because, you look at Funimation with Dragon Ball Z, And you look at the fact that, they still haven't dubbed over the Hey Son Goku or Yo Son Goku and his friends return special. They haven't dubbed over the both video game OVAs. The whole Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans or Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans have not been dubbed over. And just a bunch of little things here and there.
Subbed.
Yeah, a bunch of little things here and there. Remember Raging Blast 2 had Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans.
Yeah, and it's a sub, right.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot, because I'm
and
like, wait, no, didn't they dub the second one? No, it's still a sub.
No, it's only sub even on Raging Blast 2, in the States, it's sub only. So they have not touched those. Again, I assume it's because of different rights stuff and who owns this,
Probably.
who owns that. Yeah. I remember hearing that Funimation had a little bit of trouble. I mean, I don't remember where I read this from, so sources vary. But I remember hearing a little bit of trouble because Warner Brothers was dealing with Battle of Gods because Warner Brothers, they were part of the So it was a bit of, I don't want to say trouble because again it happened, but there were some hoops compared to normal normal licensing. Yeah. So I'm just saying that definitely different, variables come into play. And certain companies will be able to pick up certain things. Other companies can easily snipe them out. I mean, that's not happened yet, right? Because again, Bleach, both OVAs have not been touched. But a lot of different stuff comes into play. I mean, we've had a crossover between, I believe it was Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and Toriko.
Yes.
Which is the manga, another manga created by the manga creator of BoA. And he did not, and he, that's all crossover, and Funimation has not touched that. Yes. So, so that's what I'm saying. So, and Funimation has 2/3 of those. So there definitely has to be something involved, different kinds of money, different people handling certain things that involve them not jumping in, because I feel like Viz would have dubbed these over. And if they have, whoops, but I've never found them. Right? I don't have all the DVDs, right? I have a few, but I've never heard of them being DVD extras. I mean, I did even a little bit of research, right? Would have had some kind of Wikipedia page or something on this, right? And I had to look this up via a Bleach wiki page, right? So not that it's unknown or underground. It just clearly has not been picked up and distributed, and the way that the actual series has and the movies have been.
I mean, they might also have felt like it was too similar to because they basically, because I remember watching this in the anime, and it was
the same thing.
Same thing, just split into 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah,
so maybe they just
didn't
think it was, worth it to go back and, dub the OVA when they've already got it within the anime series itself.
Most definitely. I mean, that does cost money,
Yeah.
Definitely costs money when you have to license things over. Even if you have a parent company in Japan, interestingly enough, even if you have a parent, like Bandai of America, right? Bandai of America, while they might have exclusive rights to things. So it might be like, hey, Bandai, hey, Bandai of America, said Bandai, here, you have the rights to get this first before anyone else. Awesome. So we also get a deal on it? No. You still have to pay the same price that everybody else pays.
But you get it first.
Yeah. Thanks, but still a lot of money. Well, it's okay. You'll never fold. And then they folded. Man, that was hard. They had Code Geass. I think they had the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Good things were lost in America. Also the Gundam stuff too. I mean, I know Funimation, some other companies picked up the slack, but man, that sucks.
Yeah.
But guess what didn't fold? Viz. So here we are back at Bleach. That's my segue. That's my segue. So yeah,
brought it all back, ladies and gentlemen.
Very thin, but it happened. So so many of you might be sitting here going, all right, but why are you even doing this, right? Why are you doing the OVA? Well, I feel like we're never going to get to the series. As much as we talk about, let's say, doing Dragon Ball, well, no, let's be honest. As much as we talk about, let's say, doing certain series and everything, right? Dragon Ball Z, at the least, had an ending.
Right.
I know it's funny to be like, Matt, you're doing Super every week, but I think you all know what I mean, right?
But it's new.
Z had an ending. I know, but Z had an ending.
It just came out. How could we not?
I know, right? But so Z had an ending. Bleach did not, so it kind of deters me from trying to sit there and be like, and then cliffhanger. Right? If a new Bleach series came out, that would definitely push me a bit more towards looking at it for podcasting purposes, and also pushing you to look at it just in general, because I'd be like, you get to see what I read every week, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
right now.
Yeah. No, I was just I've read a bit of Bleach. Like, I've seen most of the anime, but I've read a bit of it too. Yeah. I'm not even sure how many. They're up to at least.
We don't have to talk about it right now. 70 something.
Yeah,
pretty
something
much,
like that.
But
it's even more than DBZ would be.
Yeah, so of course,
and that's
they're definitely
expensive
farther
in
than
itself.
DBZ. Yeah. Oh, I get that. No, I completely get that. But the way I feel is this, right? I just feel like we're probably not gonna get to that. So we might as well just we've done the movies before. We're gonna do the fourth movie soon enough. So I thought, hey, you know what? These are nice. These are fun. These are short. Not really fun because it was fucking depressing as hell. But they're nice and they're short. So I thought, you know what? Let's do these. Because there are 2 OVAs. There's another one that's actually a completely brand new story, which is, I wonder why that wasn't picked up. Because this I get. But anyway, so we're here, right? We're here, and it's a very, it was interesting, I think. I think it was a really nice pilot, like a nice way to I mentioned it before, just introduce you to the series. Like, hey, this is what Bleach is about, right?
Yeah.
This is what we're going to do in the show, and take it or leave it. And I think because of its popularity, obviously a lot of people took it, right? Japan, America, a lot of people sat down and went, you know what? Around the world, right? You know what? I'm a fan of Bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it's been for other people, but I kind of it's interesting to see how that tone might have changed over the years.
Right, yeah, we can't talk about it too much, but what's interesting is the way I look at it, right, the quote-unquote tone, if you will, because usually when we talk about shows that we podcast, we usually do it bit by bit by bit, but I mean, it was a 30-minute specials, and, and I don't feel the need to be so structured and rigid, so we're going to be a little bit all over the place, as if we aren't usually. We're a little bit all over the place when it comes to bits of this special, but, I think when you think of the tone, right, it was nice because they knew, okay, like at the time, right, it was like, we're going to have fights, of course. So we have to showcase a fight at the end, right? But at the same time, we're looking into the emotional, the drama and the emotional toll that certain things take on these characters, which I will admit, they still do that to a certain degree, right?
Yeah.
They still do explore characters, even though they might introduce 20 at once before fully exploring some others. I still do think that they do explore characters. I don't think that they leave anyone unturned completely, and if they do, wait long enough and they'll get back to them.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But still, I feel like they were really trying to explore this family, and I think that's what really got people into it, because it was basically a show it was a shonen anime, right? It's a fighting anime, but it's not that much. We're not to the point where it's just DBZ, where it's like we're going to fight once. We have to fight now, immediately, right? And not that DBZ never talks, because of course they do. Not even just in filler episodes. They just have episodes where they have to explain some shit, like obviously.
Yeah.
But I really feel like there is a certain depth to this show, at least in the beginning, that was there. Yeah. And I think that they really were able to showcase that with this OVA. And I definitely think that it drummed up interest for the series.
Right. Yeah, because looking back, like, I still love, like, the very big, like, the early days of Bleach. Like, that's still my favorite. Probably up until, like, the end of Soul Society, I guess, the first time when he rescues Rukia. Like, not that don't get me wrong, I still love the series. It was, it's still going, too, or at least...
Yeah, of course.
It will
the
be.
manga.
Yeah.
I get you so much. I think, I don't think that it should have ended because of the fact that people say things like, oh, it would have ended there. It's just like, no, it would have been long, I will admit. Yeah, it wouldn't have been short, right? But it's a shonen anime, manga anime. I'm okay with it going longer. I just think that, it got to the point where they needed to take a long break, and they didn't want to. So I want to check it up, just you and I, like after the podcast, maybe even talk about it next time. The idea that I'm pretty sure there's more filler than there is show.
That might actually be true.
Yeah. Not at first, because at first it was like, oh no, make your filler arcs. It's okay. We'll get back to the show. Then eventually it's just, no, there's more filler than show.
It's like,
but,
okay, guys, we're good. We got this really good. Guys.
No, I don't know. I like the Visor Eds. I liked, I like stuff after it, and I think it's interesting. I myself had to take a break, though, to be fair, because at a point, it just became a bit too drawn out, and I think everyone understands. Everyone understands the idea that it's just, I understood where it was going, where it's like, oh, hey, we have to fight here. Okay, cool, but it would just last a while.
Yeah.
Be like, and then we have to fight. So it's like, we have to fight in this other new area, bum, 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 and then continue that. But talking about this OVA, I do, and I'm not going to sit here and try to sound like, Grandpa, because apparently I always sound like fucking Grandpa. I'm not like Grandpa and be like, back in the old days, sonny. But I really do like these OSTs. I don't know, maybe it's because I was just starting off with anime. It is one of my first, quote-unquote, anime, like when I realized what anime was. So that might be a reason, But with this show, I don't know, something about the OSTs, the original soundtracks, right? If you know what OSTs means, the OSTs really connected to me. I know you posted one. I can't believe I already forgot the name because it's been so long. But I was a huge fan. What was the one you posted?
Nothing Can Be Explained.
Nothing Can Be Explained. Oh my God! And of course, number one, I'm a huge fan of. Not so much the rap version, though it grew on me. The rap version, the rap remix. But the original one I'm a huge fan of. And I mentioned this when we do the movies. It's funny because it's like, it doesn't really apply here because this is in the show. It's an OVA, but it was still planned to be in the show. But the idea is when you show, different soundtracks and everything, like it really connects you to these series. And I'm happy that American shows are kind of starting to get it, right? Like how certain sounds will just get you invested in the show. Different remixes, things like that. The one I can think of, that's perfect for that, which I know you haven't seen too much of, if not at all, Steven Universe.
Right.
Its use of music definitely gets you pumped, not only because you'll hear it and you'll go, oh, that's nice, when you hear it used again, or when you hear a different arrangement of it, right? I really enjoy that. And I think Japan has a great way of doing that. Like, they get it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have people compose this, make this. Hey, maybe there are some shows that use Japanese stock music, and I don't know about it because I don't live in Japan and look up Japanese, or just in general, don't look up Japanese stock music, right?
Right.
But you can tell from some companies in America, both some, right, not going to name any, but some, both with anime dubbing and just general voiceover work, they'll just get royalty-free clips. And hey, look, if I'm doing that, if I'm getting royalty-free, music or whatever, look, we don't have the money. We're very low, but we're those guys on the radio, right? But when these big companies do it and then they release these shows and then they're just out there, they don't really stick with you as music. They're just there, right? It's just, another fight this week, whatever. But when you have it, the way the Japanese do it sometimes with these different arrangements of the opening song or just, hell, I even love that Bleach wouldn't even really use their opening or ending songs in their show a lot.
Right.
I don't think I even remember them ever doing it. They probably have because it's an anime, but I really don't remember them doing it, which I think is also quite interesting. Like, they just make completely new arrangements, and then they'll just lay them down, and they'll be like, wow, this is amazing, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, seasons later, when they're on OST 3, 4, 5, they'll throw in one track from OST 1, like Nothing Can Be Explained, and you're like, wow.
Yeah,
that
and you'll instantly back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Bleach has an amazing OST, and it's like you said, they're on like 4, 5, 6. It's like, it's huge.
What is huge? Sorry, cut off there.
Yeah, no, I was saying the OSTs.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of them. Yeah, most definitely. I'm a huge fan of them, and but yeah, there's about like I think there's even more, but I haven't kept up with them in a while. So as far as I remember back in the day when it was like, oh man, OST 3 is out, and I was like, you know what, this is cool because it actually had that that Mexican flavor to it because it was they were in Hueco Mundo.
Right. Yeah.
So all the Spanish guitar, and I was like, hello. So they had some of that, but I was like, I like this, but I really like the stuff from the first OST too.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting. It was just like, oh man, this is so cool, and yeah, right. So, but talking about this specific OVA, I don't know about you. I mean, I know you mentioned it a little bit, but I want to mention it a bit more. The idea that it gives me a sense of nostalgia, right? I think it might have been the animation or something, because you look at the animation, it's reminiscent, because it really is the same exact animation that they had for the Bleach anime. So they didn't really retool any of the animation,
right?
Interestingly enough, which is like, nope, the exact same. So I like that. And also, this nostalgic feeling, it's interesting because it kind of reminds me of Kai, right?
Really?
A bit. Where, like, I mean, here's what I mean, right? So, like, okay, when it comes to DBZ, I've read the manga, and I've played so many DBZ games that it's kind of ingrained within me.
Right.
Right? So, but I haven't really reread or rewatched Bleach.
Right.
So, for me, there's a sense of, like, it feels nostalgic in that way. Where, like, I'll be watching Kai, because I never even watched Kai, to be fair. So I'm trying to rewatch Kai that's currently airing, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is so cool, because I might have not seen these episodes. Like, I've reread it a lot, and I played the game, so that sticks in me. Like, I swear, I'll still see when the Ginyu Force was coming down, or when Raccoon was there and Goku's coming down, I still picture it with the video game graphics from DBZ Budokai 1.
Yeah.
So I was doing a mirror of it in my head while watching Kai. So why is it relevant? Because, I've seen a lot more of DBZ, but still watching Kai, it's like, oh yeah, that reminds me. Oh yeah, that reminds me. In this way, though, I have not delved into Bleach for a while, other than the movies that we've done. And any manga that I'm reading, I'm trying to stay up to date. I'm not going back. I have some of the early manga, but I know that because I haven't been able to keep up in a while, it's just going to end at 28 anyway.
Right.
So it's like, screw it. Let me just, I'll you know what I mean? Like, I'll reread it when I have enough. Like, I've reread Dragon Ball Z so many times because I have the entire series of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, or technically just Dragon Ball, right? I have the entire series to read. So, so jumping into this is like, wow, the old animation, the old music. These voice actors, I haven't seen all of this in so long, especially because now that the anime is over, right? You really feel like you haven't seen it in a while. And, of course, it's been around for so long that the animation quality spiked, or at the very least changed. Yeah. Right? Where you don't realize it because it's been so long, and in a weird way it feels kind of slow and gradual. Right. But you kind of sit there and you're like, wait a minute. Like, this is how it used to be animated. Yeah. Everybody, this is how it used to be animated. When did it change? You're like, I don't remember. Yeah. No, I think it might have been around the after Soul Society, after the Bound arc. Yeah. It was around Vizard stuff where it was, I think it was still a little bit of this, but it was definitely like, again, it felt slow to me. Maybe it was just a higher jump than I thought, but it started to go a bit more 3D. And then all of a sudden you're seeing the last stuff they did in the anime, which I don't want to spoil because, I mean, it happened a while ago, but still, the last stuff they did in the anime, and you're like, whoa, like, that looks a lot different. It's like when you see Pikachu, you're like, that change, how long have I been out? Right? How long have I been gone?
How long have I been in, oh God, what's it called? I forget what it's called. No, not Hueco Mundo. The what was it? The pathways between the living world and the Soul Society.
El Purgatorio.
Yeah.
No, that's not it at all. I said El Purgatorio. No, that's not. From one Spanish guy. No, that's not it at all. Dear God, no. Dear fucking God. You ever call it El Purgatorio, I'm going to kick your ass. I don't fucking know what it's called, but I know it's not El Purgatorio. I'm so mad at you right now.
You're such an asshole.
Well, but shit. What? Anything I say L and put an O at the end of anything, and you're just like, yeah, that's what it's called. El Paso. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's that one. El Paso.
Because I didn't shut the fuck. God damn it.
Thank you so much. I'm looking it up right now to prove you wrong.
Now I'm just going to laugh
Bleach
like twice as
pathway
hard.
to other
I'll
worlds.
laugh twice as hard if it's right.
Yeah, if it's El Purgatorio, I'm going to be so fucking mad. Be like, Cuba?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, Garganta, right? Yeah, Garganta is a spiritual pathway connecting Hueco Mundo to other worlds. If you're talking about Hueco Mundo, it's Garganta.
Okay, so you're not screwing with me this time, right? Well,
no.
You know what?
Garganta.
I trust you to be, the one who has the information, who knows what it is, and if you don't, you would, like you just did right now, you'd look it up and not be, jerk about
El Purgatorio. Garganta. Yeah, because Garganta is Spanish for throat and Japanese for black cavity.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is how Arrancar and Hollows move to and from Hueco Mundo. All right, if that's what you're thinking of, that's the term, not El Purgatorio.
Oh, shut up. No, not the giant. That's the giant zipper in the sky, right?
Yeah.
No, I was
out of
thinking
context, man. Just someone who doesn't know about Bleach just sees, you know what, this will be a rousing thing for me to listen to, try to get into Bleach. The giant zipper in the sky. I don't know about this shit, man.
And turning it off.
Yeah. Oh, God, there's a GIF on here, and all I see is, what's his name, number 0?
Yeah.
Well, number 10. Not number 0,
right.
Sorry. Wrong.
Same
number
difference.
10. No, it isn't.
No?
Number 10. No,
okay.
The one with Ulquiorra. It's just, his eye is staring. I'm like, because it opened up, but I was mid-gift, so it's just like, boom. I'm like, that's scary. That's scary. But,
right.
Or you're talking about the Dongai Precipice world?
Yes,
okay.
That's what I meant. The in-between between the living world and Soul Society, not
right,
where the sweeper train would come through and, they'd be stuck in there forever if it caught them.
Sí, señor, sí.
Because I was thinking of that. It's like, because time passes so much slower in there. Thinking, how long have I been stuck in here?
Okay.
That was the joke.
I'm happy you referenced that because, out of everything we've said so far, you're like, yeah, because time passes slowly. I'm like, I don't even remember, man. All I'm thinking about is the word that I said, and I'm not going to say it again because you're mad. All right?
Okay.
So just remember, Garganta is wrong. El Purgatorio is correct.
Okay. Wait.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
That moment when the moment when some people might be like, oh, I know some people are listening going, man, Tristan, have you been drinking? I think the problem is that he hasn't been drinking. We might need to put some alcohol in him.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. We just get you drugs, you're like, I can focus.
We could just ask Mr.
I'm
Hattenclogs. I'm sure he's got some pretty nice sake somewhere in the shop.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Mr. Hattenclogs. Love that guy. God,
yes,
he was called Mr. Hattenclogs at one point. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. At one point, we're that early in the series. It's like Mr. Hattenclogs.
I know.
Speaking of these characters and where they've gone, I don't want to talk about where they've gone in some ways because I really don't want to spoil it for anyone who may have not caught that far in the series. But I want to mention. No, but Urahara's fine, because, come on, right? But he fucking exists. He's there. But Ichigo's dad, though, isn't it interesting how, we get this and we watch this and you sit there and you think, man, this is how he was at the time, right? He was just this goofball that you really thought wasn't really I don't say he wasn't a dad, because he really tried to do his hardest for these kids. But he really didn't have that quote-unquote stereotypical father figure embodiment, especially what some people try to say is some anime try to portray as a quote-unquote typical, Japanese father. Again, the anime portray this, right? They try to be like, oh, he's stoic, oh, he's like this. They care, but oh, he's like this, very, training, or like, you even look at, let's say, something like Death Note with, like, Yagami's dad, right? Soichiro, very stoic, things like that. that's how you usually see, that's how sometimes when you watch anime, you'll see a quote-unquote stereotypical Japanese father, or even in general, my dad was very stoic sometimes, Like, he was fun, right? He was, but my dad was very, like strict and kind of just like, sometimes like just very stoic, and I can't think of better words, but yes. So what I'm trying to say is just that you see Ichigo's dad in a goofball, everything, very... Definitely the comic relief of the series when it comes to the house, right? Because they had a lot of different people for comic relief, but in different settings.
Right.
Where you wouldn't really see the comic relief from school, right? I can't remember those names, but I really like the two of them. You wouldn't see the two of them in Ichigo's house, usually, right? At least in the beginning. Nor would you see Ichigo's dad at school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had comic relief people for certain settings. Right.
Yeah.
So
and it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see, the house of, the teenage boy, his two younger sisters, and their father, and the father is the comic relief one.
That too, by the way. Yeah, it's a very interesting take, and also just it's interesting. Again, no spoilers, just general seeing how he's become much more of a father figure as time rolls on, giving. I mean, you saw a glimpse of it, right? You saw a glimpse of it with him giving Ichigo his advice, life advice, stuff like that.
Right.
But even then, he's joking around a bit in his own way.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of chuckling. So it's very interesting to see that, I think, right? Like as a character, to see some of the early, I don't want to say prototypes because it's not like it was a retooled pilot. It's an episode of the show. 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see how they all started out.
Right.
And what's interesting is I would argue, Ichigo didn't really change as much. I mean, he has grown, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny how his ideals have stayed similar, I guess.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't become evil. I mean, there's parts of him that aren't the nicest, but he hasn't become evil. Right?
Yeah, no, like his core ideals are still pretty much the same. Like I think the way he goes about it now is a bit more, I guess you could say, like calm and collected. It's almost like, relating to Dragon Ball, how I know it was in one of the movies, but the line sticks out to me how Roshi says when Goku's firing Kamehameha waves across, the ocean. He goes, he's never trained harder, but he's so relaxed and confident about it,
Oh, were you talking about Cooler's Revenge?
Yes.
Right, which is one of the podcasts that we've done in the past.
Yes. But Ichigo kind of takes on that effect, like, later on in the series. I mean, he's still, technically, yes, he's still, young yet, because he's only, oh, God, like, it's funny, like, looking back on the series, it still boggles me how young Ichigo really is, he's, I know he's a high school student, but still, it's like, 17, and at the time, like, when I started watching Bleach, I was younger than him.
Yes, it's
continuing on with the series. We aged a lot faster than he did. So you look back and just the way he acts, it's like, oh my God, you're still a high schooler. That's
wow. He wasn't 15. He's 17.
Oh, maybe he was like. Yeah, I can't.
Well, time to Google.
There you go.
Search engine. Google, Bing, MSN,
I think in the manga. I think you're right. In the manga, when they first introduced him, he was 15. I think you're correct.
Time to use a search engine. Doesn't matter which. 15.
Yeah?
15, yes.
Right.
Before he became a Shinigami. So, I mean, time went on, I would argue. Like maybe, 2 years, probably?
Yeah.
Whoops. Not even old enough to do anything yet. But he's saving the earth.
Right. That's the general kind of like shonen main character range anyway, high school
True,
student.
but yes, but I mean, it's interesting because now that we're talking about, little like the series as a whole ish, not so much, but it's really interesting to me because you think about Dragon Ball Z and it's like Goku was more of in a fantasy world, and he did have the time to grow up, right? Even though he never really changed necessarily, he did have time to grow up, quote unquote, grow older.
Yeah.
Naruto, Shinobi stuff, had the chance to grow older.
Yeah.
Right? Luffy, I believe, is like 19.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how they put so much, Kubo put so much weight on Ichigo's shoulders.
Right.
Which I think is also interesting because, I don't know if Kubo meant to, that does reflect puberty in a way, like growing up. Having all this weight put on your shoulders, as a teenager. It's just funny how, for us, it was weight as in like, man, these honor classes are nuts. Ichigo just like fighting hollows. You can't do your honor stuff if I
staying alive.
Die. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, by the way, dying, that's also a thing. Right?
Yeah. Like that was always the thing. Like the times he would come back to school after like a huge, event happened in the series. It's like, how? It's like, I'm sorry, but how have you not been expelled? I guess
usually fights during the summers.
Yeah, right.
He usually
I
fights
forgot
during
about
the summers.
Yeah,
usually.
It's hysterical.
Or it's a nice weekend,
Yeah, or it's a nice weekend.
Christmas vacation, whatever.
Because like you think about it, it's like, how many times like would his dad have gotten calls like, your son hasn't been showing up for months on end. Is everything okay? Like, what would he come up with? And Ichigo's dad being Ichigo's dad, it's like, oh dear God, what would he come up with?
Before we jump back into the OVA, I feel like it reminds me of Yusuke's mom in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah,
that's the shit. Actually, now I'm mad because of the fact that because everyone always says Bleach Yu Yu Hakusho, the same thing. Obviously, that's not true. But more importantly, the reason why I'm sitting here actually being quote unquote mad, it's like, Matt, why are you mad? Well, it's the fact that Yusuke was even younger than Ichigo. Yusuke was like in 8th grade or something.
Yeah, he was junior high. Yeah. He was 14 when he started.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind that.
But,
it's only a year younger.
He also aged through the series, too. Because I'm pretty sure by, like, the last bit of the manga, like, they did an extra, but at the end, they were 18 or maybe even in their early 20s. Because Kuwabara's talking about going to college. So it's like, holy shit, you guys grew up.
Yes. But junior high, interesting, because I know Japan does it a bit differently. For us, I mean, at least in our area, we're in New York, right?
Right.
So for us, like junior high, I'm thinking like 12, 13.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
I see,
But I forgot that it goes up to 14 there, and in other places in the U.S. as well, right?
Right.
But anyway, so back to the OVA. It was interesting seeing these characters and how young they were at the time, and also, so we haven't talked about. I would consider the elephant in the room. I mean, we mentioned the general idea, but we haven't talked about the elephant in the room. So Ichigo's mom, huh? Well,
yeah,
that was a barrel of laughs. Except when it wasn't, and I cried.
Yeah. You sick bastard.
No. That was sad, man.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel? The first time and seeing it again, how did that make you feel?
Let's talk about your feelings.
Yeah, right?
No, but
make you feel?
Honestly, like, watching it in the anime, these were the 2 episodes, these were probably 2 of my favorite episodes, like, for the first season, I guess we'll consider it that. Because it was just the way that they started telling it, because you don't hear about it from Ichigo directly. You hear it from, his classmates, from his friends. Like, Tatsuki is the one who tells the story. And she's not even telling it, to, like, the audience or she's not even talking to Ichigo. She's talking to Orihime.
Right,
I always found that... I always found that really interesting, how she, recounts how he was as a kid and how, losing his mother really, really affected him, like, so bit. Like, it affects... infects, yeah. It affected their entire family in really such dramatic ways, and obviously, it would, losing, a core element of your family
definitely
would affect anybody.
Especially at such a young age, because it always affects you. No matter what age, it's always going to affect you. But at such a young age, I think that was the big. Most definitely, and it's and I agree too though. Like the idea, and I'm sorry, I'll let you finish, but the idea that we're in a way we are Orihime. Very rarely are we Orihime, right? But in this case,
you should relish the moment.
What?
You should relish the moment. It is very rare that we get to be Orihime.
Right. Woo! I'm a spin a leak around. Woo! But very rarely do we get to be Orihime.
I mean that in the sense of, like, do we actually get to be in the presence of the character? I mean, in the beginning, yes, you get to see, like, Ichigo's, like, friends a lot more, but, like, towards...
Yes.
As the series goes on, it fluctuates. We'll say that.
Right. I'm a main character, except when I'm not. But but anyway, I matter, except when I don't. But anyway, no. But seriously, we got to be Orihime for a little bit and just kind of just hear this outside perspective because Orihime became the viewer for a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
And but anyway, what were you saying?
I think I made most of the point I was making with that.
Oh, okay. No, Tristan.
I think I was also talking like how it affected, Ichigo's entire family. And you really start to see that when Rukia confronts him about it.
Oh, definitely.
Because I don't know that they showed it in the OVA, but I think it might have been in the anime in the first episode of these two, where it was like the night before. I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've seen this episode.
No.
But
then again, I don't.
I think he was talking about it. Yeah, I think he might have been saying something in his sleep, and Rukia like overhears it. Something like his mother. And then it's the next day, him going to school, and then you see the scene.
Oh, yes, that was obviously not in the OVA. Right, that was not in the OVA.
Orihime says, good morning, like she always would, and Ichigo gives this big smile and says, oh, hey, how's it going? And I found it so hysterical the first time I saw it because I'm like, oh, that was nice, and then Orihime's face just kind of like drops for a second, and I'm like, that's not the reaction I was expecting. I figured of all people you would like that. And then, she, one of the other girls looks at Orihime and says, wow, he's cheery today. And Tatsuki's just like, yeah. And it's like, oh, there's more to this, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm everything. I'm trying to look this up, but I can't find it. Yeah, I'm everything. No, it's because... No, don't fall! No! They just fell live on the air. Anything can happen on this radio. No, but seriously, I pulled up my Apollo song, which, by the way, totally get that, by Osamu Tezuka. 2 parts in America, Apollo song. Very interesting piece of literature. But anyway, I'm trying to pull these out and, like, lean them up, but I forgot that Apollo song they're really big. Like, they're bigger than normal manga.
Right.
So I piled them up, and they were too close to the edge, and they slip off. And I'm like, no! Don't give us material that live on those guys on the radio, anything can happen. Don't do that. No. Don't let the public know that anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Organic. We are organic.
Just like Orihime's drawings. I had to make a quick segue to that because that made me laugh freaking hard the first time.
I just keep on thinking about that.
Yeah. It's like,
what
do you want to be in the future? And Tatsuki's like a boxing champion. The other girl's like, I don't know if they even showed her, but I get the feeling she was going to be like a CEO or some shit. And then Orihime's just a giant destruction robot shooting missiles and lasers and breathing fire.
That reminds me of Gravity Falls. I know you haven't seen that much of it, but like she was supposed to. I don't know if you saw the one with the wax figures.
I don't believe so.
Okay, So Mabel, the girl.
Yeah.
Mabel. She because Dipper Mabel twins for anyone who doesn't know. So Mabel is making. She has to make. She wants to make a wax figure of her great uncle, her grunkle Stan, right?
Right.
And it's hilarious because she's like before she gets that idea, she was like, gotta make a wax figure for Grunkle Stan, not of him, just for him. And she's like, oh, I wanted to make something real, so I have this picture of a waffle. Pans out with big strong arms.
Oh my god.
And it was just like, how about no? And I think she was like, well, how about this unicorn princess? Oh, how about this princess that's like half, what about this unicorn that's half unicorn, pans out, and part princess, and it's like human torso of the top, but it's drawn so cute with crayons and everything.
Yeah.
And Dipper's like, how about we don't do that? Part horse fairy princess, something like that. Yeah, it was part horse fairy princess. But anyway,
right.
So that's what it reminds me of. It's just like, when I grow up, I want to be a robot. I don't think you can, okay.
Okay.
You're a robot now.
Yeah. Oh god, it's like those growing up commercials. I'm a robot now.
Oh my god. We're not allowed to say that on the air. Nah, I think we are. I don't know. Are we? I don't know.
It's okay. It's obscure enough.
I'm sending any obscure. That was huge. I'm sending any lawyer's fees to your home. I'm sending anything.
Oops.
Anything I get in the mail goes right to you.
Just bleep me out,
wow.
Matt.
Here's something crazy. What do you mean, Tristan Walter, who lives in Long Island? No.
Yeah, thanks. Okay.
Who lives in? Give your address to the lawyers, Tristan. They're listening. Those are all of our listeners, just lawyers.
Oh, jeez.
Because they're sitting there just like, I wonder
they're
if
bound
we
to
can
slip
find
up at some
anything
point.
to get them. They're bound to slip up at some point. They're
dealing with anime.
There's
like copyright written all over it.
Oh my God! I didn't know that you're toxic. All of a sudden, it's like, well, Britney Spears lawyer. Well, time to sue them for millions of dollars.
Oh, God.
But sir, we don't even have anything. Those are the best ones to take money from.
That's your problem, not mine.
So it took 3 volumes to actually get to Ichigo's mom.
Yeah.
No, because I'm like obviously looking through my own to find it. And,
right.
And yes, so it's right. Yeah, I don't. The beginning was not part of it, or at least it didn't seem to be. Like they started off with, "Hey, we're here," right?
Yeah.
Where in the manga anime, it's like, "Oh, tomorrow or today is a day. It is the
right.
day," and then bam.
And then right.
Right. Here they had the moment in the forest when it's like, Ichigo, do you think that your mom may have been killed by a hollow? And he's like, no. Because it's interesting, because it's a bit like Supernatural in a way, where the idea is, hey, supernatural stuff has happened. Like, it happens, right? So, like, hollow stuff happens. But it's hard for people to sometimes believe that it happened to them.
Yeah.
I will admit, Supernatural, usually hunters are made by a tragic occurrence happening to them, like a family member dying, based on something, in the supernatural, like a werewolf or a vampire or a demon or something. Yeah. But sometimes it's just the idea that, and it can happen, I think, in Supernatural as well, just the idea that, hey, so I kill these supernatural things all the time, but it totally hasn't happened to me.
Yeah.
Right? So Ichigo cannot believe that it happened to him at all.
Right. Well, the whole thing was too. Ichigo had blamed himself for
Yes.
So
now
many years
now
at that point.
Further. Yeah. Now. Yeah. And also, it's interesting because you can say that he doesn't have to blame himself anymore, right? Yeah. But in a way, he probably blames himself even further now because he's the one who saw it.
Right. And he's older now, and he's seen how it's affected his entire family too. So that weighs on him even more.
Yes.
Like that was something that interested me so much about this, OVA, those episodes in particular, because it took. I mean, I guess it was you see it manifested in the fight later on more so.
Mm-hmm.
That this might be a fight that the hero doesn't necessarily win, because in a way he's also fighting against himself, or fighting for the fact that I need to, I need to redeem myself. Like, I need to have this fight and win, to say that I've fixed things in a way,
Right, and also because this is the thing that killed his mother, and he had no idea that things like this existed. Also, another reason why it is kind of new to him.
Yeah.
The idea of hollows.
Oh yeah.
So,
right. This is still all new too. So.
Yeah. So for Rukia, anything can be a hollow attack. Not everything, but anything can.
Anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So because she's been doing this for a very long time.
Very long time.
Very long time. Yeah.
And
so
it's funny how that's almost a reminder that she's not of the living world. I think, you know, in the series you can kind of forget that because she spends so much time with Ichigo, and in the first season at least, with the removal of her powers, you know, she doesn't seem like this godlike figure. She seems kind of just like the rest of them for a bit. Yeah. Until she talks to him and says, you know, this could have been a hollow attack. And granted,
things like this.
The whole thing is she's right too. But at the time, like, she didn't even think of it like how it would affect Ichigo, because you see her later watching his sisters, and she goes, "I'm an idiot," and it's like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like, I can't really blame you for not thinking of something like that, because, well, why would you when you know, you've been doing this for God knows how long, and...
But you can tell also how she is very humble about it. She's an aristocrat in a way. Byakuya could still be a bit, rash, I think. But, a bit brash, rather, bold. But still, the idea that I think she's very humble with it, where I feel like Renji would be like, told you so.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Where Rukia understood, like, hey, I did tell him this. I was right, but I'm not going to gloat about it.
Right. Or that the fact that it bothered him so much, like, I'm sorry that bothered you. I should have thought of how it, how all of this made you feel. It was your mother, that kind of thing.
Yes. So, question.
Yeah.
Just a quick question. I remember you said that you may have seen this. So, have you seen this before doing the podcast or no?
The actual OVA.
Yeah.
I don't believe so, no, because I don't think I was actually aware that it was an OVA itself. I thought it was just part of the anime. So when I started watching it, I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, no, you're getting these weird, like, flashbacks, like these wartime. You're like, wait a minute, no, oh God, it's Dragon Ball all over again. It's the Dragon Ball movies all over again. It's going to be the same exact content from the show with tiny variations. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Well, I don't think that really bothered me as much this time because, like I said before, this was one of my favorites. So.
Yeah, this arc and everything, this 2-episode arc was, and I get that too. It was just really, really good.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say?
No, I was actually about, like, Ichigo's family when Rukia was seeing them at the grave. Like, Ichigo's sisters. Like, we've said how much of it, this affected their entire family, but I don't think I actually went, like, specifically into each one of them. Because Yuzu and Karin? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
It's... I guess I'm trying to, like, think of how I should say it. Like, okay, I don't mean this to sound like, gender specific or whatever, but,
Oh, no, I get you. I know where you're going. But it's funny because, like, I believe, I understand where you're going with.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of gasped, because I actually get where you're going with. But please and it's not a problem at all. But please continue.
No. Karin especially, like, she gets the sense that she needs to, like, toughen up, with, in the sense of she needs to be the one that her sister can go to. Like, when they're at the grave, Yuzu starts crying again, and she's like, come on, we're 11 now, you can't start crying, like, every time we're at the grave, and but Yuzu's like, I know, but I just can't help it. And then she, turns over to Karin and, buries herself in her shoulders. And, Karin holds her, but she keeps it together. And it's like, they're still very young. And it's just,
that's nowhere where I thought you were going. Just for the record, though, don't worry, because you didn't say man up. right?
No.
So I have heard, for some that say man up, I've also heard woman up. So I'm like, oh, that's an interesting way to make it gender. Gender equality. No, but toughen up is there's nothing wrong with that at all. It doesn't matter. Because I thought you were going to say the idea that it might hurt them more because they lost their mom, because they don't have a mother figure to look up to. I thought you were going to say that. That's why you were talking about gender.
Oh, okay.
That's why you kind of threw me off for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I meant more.
You don't want to make it look as if women were less than. No, not at all. Because Ichigo toughened up too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Because he was always, because Tatsuki even talks about it because she met him first in the dojo, and I love that little bit where like Tatsuki. It's funny how Tatsuki's probably known Ichigo the longest out of all his friends. Like he knew him when she knew him when they were little kids. And she used to beat the crap out of him all the time.
And that's why it's so sad. I think
that's beautiful.
That boy that she used to beat the crap out of. Now she's still before the hollow stuff, right? She still probably could beat the crap out of him, but he wouldn't just take it. But he would be sarcastic. He wouldn't smile.
Yeah,
that's the sad thing. I think the most, where it's just the idea where she sat there and she's like, now I can't even do it because if I do, I just think about how.
How
he used to be like, come
bring
on,
him back up again.
Or he used to cry at the leaves. Like, stop crying, you baby, and now he doesn't even shed a tear. And it's like, wow.
So it's not even.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like funny for her anymore, or in the sense of like come on, get back up, show me, show me what you got, hit me back.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's more of like now you're just basically kicking a dog when it's down, and it's like, no one wants to do that unless you're sick,
Right, unless you're sick in the head. Yeah, sure. I love kicking dogs when they are down. Like it's
you're a sick puppy. Speaking of
I was hoping you'd pick up on that crap, but no more dog references. All right, that's right, Matt. You're in the doghouse. Stop it. No more dog references. But
and I love the fact that like it even looks like Kadin, like getting back to their sisters, it looks like Kadin kind of adapts almost the same kind of attitude that Ichigo does.
Well, she was the older one, so I think I don't think she remembers her mom that much, but because she was the older one, she feels like she emulated her brother more than Or also, I feel like just Yuzu just emulates their dad, or she's just
even
really
their mother.
Kind.
Yeah,
right. Or she's just really kind. So she's just like She doesn't mean to emulate the mom though, because she wasn't around for it. But she generally
They did have a flashback. They did have a flashback where they were.
Though?
I don't think they were that young. I mean, I would assume they remember their mother. Like they looked like they were, because Ichigo was like elementary school. I guess, maybe.
Right.
Or no.
I don't remember.
No, he wasn't even that young, because they even say it was only 6 years ago. So he would have been 11. Oh, no.
All right, so then they were 5 and
10.
4-ish.
No.
They were
9.
5 and 4-ish then. 8, 7, 6,
exactly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But
Shut up.
They were.
Yeah.
If he was 9, then they were. Well, if he was 9, and they're if she's 15 and they're 10 and 11, so let's say 11, right? That's 4.
Okay.
If they were 9, they were like 4 and 5. Yeah, correct, 4 or 5.
Yeah, so they would still remember their mother. Or, usually you normally remember 4 is the farthest.
Ish.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's how it was for me anyway, but some people remember as far as back as 3, so.
Yeah. But anyway, the idea is that it was enough where they remember brief moments, I'm sure, but Ichigo's the one that retained all of it, and so he's become the quote unquote tough one, if you will. If you want to regard that as being tough, but still hard, if you want to say that, like
hardened.
older.
Yeah.
Yes, hardened, and so
he doesn't get emotional.
Right. And so that's
we all know that's bullshit because.
Of course he feels a lot, but he doesn't show his emotion.
Right, exactly.
Because he does feel. Everyone feels, but he doesn't show it. So there's that, right? Then there's, Kadin, who was a bit after, right? Who, was enough where she just emulates him, and then Yuzu, who probably emulates the dad more, or at least wants to put up with the dad for the mom's sake. Where Karin doesn't care. She's like, stop being an idiot. Right.
Well, yeah, because she always seems to react how Ichigo would towards her dad,
Yes.
like stop being such a goofball, or stop saying, either stop saying stupid things or stop saying terrible things in a joking manner, and like roundhouse kicks him.
Basically.
And it's funny how the dad always lets her connect with the roundhouse kick, but whenever Ichigo would, he would always fight back.
Right, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's funny because there's the whole dynamic where you think of it that way, Claudine's kind of emulating Ichigo, where she fights with the dad, but he takes it jokingly, so he'll take the hit and stop. But it's the dad at the same time, he's using all the goofiness and all of that as a distraction and trying to lighten up the mood and trying to make them feel no, you don't have to, hold all this in. You're still the kids,
Yes.
And when Ichigo comes in trying to be tough, quote unquote, and not show that, he's affected by it too, I feel like that's why his dad picks on him a lot more. Whenever he walked into the house in the series, he would always be on his case. It's you always have a scowl when you walk into this house. Come in with a smile, greet your sisters. Sit down and have dinner with us. Damn it!
Yeah.
And he starts fighting with him in midair.
Yeah.
And
in midair. I love that. Again, just anyone who's listened this far, I don't know if I should stay. Just fights with him in the air, in midair. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, I get that.
And I feel like that really connects to, like you said earlier on, the life advice that he gives to Ichigo later on. He's kind of he's still, like you even said, he's being serious, but he's still goofing around with him at the same time. He even knees him in the stomach after he gives him the whole spiel. He's why should I blame you? The woman I love gave her life to save her child, and that just makes me, love her for who she was even more. And he says, and you should keep that in mind too. She gave her life so you could live, Stop being so down about it and live your life, damn it.
Exactly.
That would be the ultimate way. If Ichigo really wanted to piss off his family, that would be the worst thing he could do. But I think he starts to realize, what, you're right. I can't be beating myself up about this all the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I feel having that fight with, well, we'll get into that, next. Yeah.
Well,
having that fight with Grand Fisher, I think really kind of put it together for him that he needed that fight to really confront those feelings and realize, I can't keep beating myself up about this. It wasn't my fault. It, it was this hollow. Rukia is right. It was a hollow attack, and I should be taking it out. I should not necessarily vow vengeance against him, but he's the one to blame, not me, for my mother's death. I didn't kill her.
Exactly.
He did.
Yes. Well, it's funny, as you said, what about that? I was going to end it soon. So, because, I thought, I don't know what really to say about the fight so much as, oh, man, that was cool swordplay. Because it was cool, right? But, we really talked about the fight, emotionally and what it had to do with Ichigo. So, in my opinion, I feel like we've got a lot of key points of this podcast. But, as always, before I end it, I want to say if you have anything else to say about this OVA, please go. Yeah,
there would be one more specific, something I actually wanted to hit on was Rukia's involvement in the fight, because she even tells him in the beginning, this is the Grand Fisher, he's kind of a big deal, as far as hollows go. We've been trying to chase him down for the last 50 years without success. And Ichigo's just no, he killed my mom, I'm going to kick his ass, blah, 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 let me fight him alone. And she's like, you're an idiot. It's did you not hear anything I just said? And Ichigo almost, not in so many, a little more colorfully, but he basically looks back at her and says, nope. And there was a point where, she sees him fighting and he's getting his ass kicked. And, Grand Fisher kind of had a point. It's you let anger and, all this emotion dull your blade. And in that sense, it kind of does, because he's blinded by the fact of, I have to kill you to get vengeance from my mother and reassert the fact that, I'm doing something to like, obviously, I don't think he ever thought he could bring her back by killing Grant Fisher, but the sense that he atoned for his mistake. Like, I have to destroy you to atone for my past mistake. And
definitely
he goes in with reckless abandon, and, you know, Grant Fisher toys with him the entire fight, and he says, you know, you're you're dancing within my threat range. I could kill you whenever I wanted to.
Right.
And it's funny because Ichigo's, you think of it, it's almost like Goku in that sense. Like, he learns during the fight, and that he may not, like, reflecting as more someone like Vegeta, who's pretty much a tactical genius because he had to be to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Goku kind of learns more throughout the fight how to handle his opponent.
Right.
Which basically relates to how Ichigo fought Grant Fisher. Yes, he was angry, and yes, he was letting things getting to him, but he was still aware of how the fight was going, and he does realize at one point, okay, I can't hit you. I haven't landed a single blow on you because you have a huge threat range. So whenever I'd get close enough, he would just, you know, either stab him or attack him and knock him back.
Right.
So basically, using a line from Return of the Jedi, your overconfidence is your weakness. Ichigo puts himself in the zone of, well, basically being killed in one shot because Grant Fisher uses his mother's face against him and stabs through his actual lure and into Ichigo. But at the same point, Ichigo looks up at him, you didn't kill me. If you'd killed me with that, then yeah, I'd be stupid. But you're overconfident, and you think you have me right in the palm of your hand. I mean, that's when he, deals the big blow. And I thought that was really cool, that he puts the sword through the hole that all hollows have and, like, literally slices through to the outside of his body. I don't know why.
Can we get you for fight commentary? Can we just get you for... Because, there's times that I sit there and I'm like, oh, like, I'd love to, do this as a joke. I like to do serious commentary, with Tish and I or something, another one of our co-hosts, serious commentary. But, I want to get you, and not that you're not serious, but I want to get you on for just actual, anime or general fights where it's just, you see right there.
I mean, yeah, I guess it is kind of long-winded, but...
No, but I like it. I
just really enjoyed how the fight plays out, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I've studied martial arts for a bit.
That's probably it.
I kind of look at how fights play out like that in a little more detail. That's why I always say Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball Z have so much more to it than just raw screaming energy beams and punching each other in the face.
Right, of course.
There's more to it than that. There really is.
There definitely is.
If you look.
Oh no, there definitely is. Yes.
Yeah, if you look hard enough, there is.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But I think it's time to wrap everything up. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Please go on.
The one last quick thing was the point that Rukia doesn't intervene. And she's even seen this, a fight like this play out before with, I believe it was her lieutenant?
Yes.
Yeah, her lieutenant. And she still has the memory of that because, well, I guess I can kind of spoil this, right? Or just the fact
her
that
lieutenant got hurt by a hollow, and then he was all right. Everything was okay. He came back to life. Everyone's happy. The end.
Her lieutenant was killed in a similar situation. Not the same, obviously, but a similar situation. So, she's seen this fight play out before, and in her mind, she's like, Ichigo's far less experienced. He's going to die. I need to help him.
Yeah.
But she remembers what, at the time, her captain told her, there are two kinds of fights in this world. And I feel like this is a real, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I feel like this is really, Tite Kubo talking. It's like there are two types of fights in this world. There's one for protecting someone's life, and there's one for protecting your pride.
Yes.
And really, if you really think about it, fighting for your own pride is actually a very important thing because it's not the idea of, being to show you're the best and, you could kick anybody's ass. It's more of the fact that you have the ability yourself to take on whatever life throws at you with your own two hands. You can stand on your own. There's a certain pride in that everyone kind of needs to feel at some point, or feel throughout their lives. To know that you do have the power, you can do this. And without that, she even realizes, even if I do save him, he won't have that same drive, that same spirit. It'll be gone. And at that point, if he doesn't have that, the next hollow, whatever it is that just comes around, will be the death of him. And so, she watches the fight play out, and she stops him from going after Grand Fisher after he retreats, which, personally, I was so pissed about that he got away. I was, God, I was so angry that he got away.
Yeah.
It was just like one of those, yeah. I like how it played out, and but that's just, Ruki is there at the end to catch him and say, you are incredibly wounded. I am. You should be 100% dead right now. Why are you not dead? And then just talks him down and says, you did good, kid.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, I'll step off my soapbox now.
It's okay. Hey, usually it's me dominating, so I really like when you get the chance to talk about stuff that you obviously have a lot of knowledge in, and it's really nice to see your interpretation of things like this, because it wasn't just, a fight with cool swords. There really was something else in there, because I thought we really brought it up earlier, but there's so much more depth into it that I really enjoyed, what you had to say.
All right, thanks.
So before we end things, and I have to go on my whole here's what other shows we've done thing. What would you give this OVA out of a 10? Because I would probably just give it a straight up 9 or 10, because it's an episode of the anime. It's hard to be like, well, was it structured right? Or no, everything hit well. So there's no reason why I'd give this a low score, because it really was just an episode of the anime. For some, they might say, oh, it's rehashing, but it was a pilot.
Right.
It was just a pilot that adapted a part of the anime that I think was a great part to adapt. It wasn't the first episode, but It was still something that drew you in. If you sit there and hey, this is Ichigo. This is who he is.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, okay. And then now you learn about his mom.
I think that was
it really draws you in.
Yeah, I think that was a good piece to really say this is who Ichigo is, because he even goes on to the end to say, I want to keep doing this. Yeah. And he's basically the kind of hero that says, I want to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else, because I know what it feels like and I don't want anyone else to feel like this.
Exactly.
And so, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I really love heroes that are like that,
Of course. It's great to have tragic, and it's really great to have flawed heroes. It's always good to mix it and mash it up with some flawed heroes. But every once in a while, it's just nice to have a guy who, he's not happy-go-lucky, right? So there is something that's a bit different about him, I guess, in this typical hero mold. But at the same time, he's still going for good things, and he's not going to, it's like he doesn't sit there and, it's the kind of hero that's like, and I'm going to break kneecaps and break every law I can to do it.
Right, yeah.
Not necessarily. He isn't the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
But I think he's just going to be like, anti-hero breaking the law.
Oh, yeah. I guess it was just because I can kind of relate to that. You've known me for a while, too. I can be pretty serious. I'm not exactly happy-go-lucky myself, but, I have my lighter days. You wouldn't think it on hearing me on here, but...
No, I know. You're not you're not a Shinigami, but at the same time, you're also, there's free time. But I just
I run from rooftop to rooftop. I am the knight.
Yeah, right. It's like he's not Batman, but no, I understand. I think that's something a lot of people can relate to. Minus the heroic aspect, I think at least the general aspect. I think that's also why it became popular, because a lot of people, especially in our age range at the time when we started watching this, felt that feeling, even if we didn't lose someone in our lives. We still kind of felt that feeling sometimes, and it's really nice how he was able to turn that feeling, the character Ichigo was able to turn that feeling into something beautiful, right? Able to turn a bad situation into a good one.
Right.
But anyway, so I'm gonna give it a 9 or a 10.
Yeah, I would definitely. I would definitely give it give it the same. You know,
all
9,
right, cool.
10.
Yeah, so good. And here we are. We're at the end of our show. We would like to thank you guys for listening to those guys. But, of course, before we end everything, I want to mention, as always, we've done a lot of different shows, and there are a lot of different ways that you can watch a lot of our different shows. Now, what shows have we done? Well, plenty. I'm just kidding. No, we've done many shows. Good night. No, we've done not just Tristan and I, a lot of different hosts and I. We've done WWE Monday Night Raw, WWE pay-per-views. We've done Bleach movies. This is our first Bleach OVA. We've also done Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball movies, OVAs, and things of that nature. We're currently doing Dragon Ball Super, which is the newest anime out. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out if you can. We've also done Gravity Falls, Steven Universe. We've done Black Dynamite. We've done Mike Tyson Mysteries. We've done Pokemon video games. We've also done, We've also done, you know what's really funny? At this point, I always go, Bleach movies, but that's what we're doing right now. So, yeah, usually Bleach comes way last. It's like, oh, I'm bleached. Wait, no, we're doing that right now. We've done Gotham, Arrow, Flash, Supernatural, Doctor Who. We've definitely done some Doctor Who. And you can get all these shows and more, or anything I may have forgotten to mention. These shows and more, you can find them on our website, which is thoseguysintheradio.tumblr.com. Also our Facebook, which is /thoseguysintheradio. Our Twitter, which is @thosguysradio. Our Instagram, which is /thoseguysintheradio. You can search us up on iTunes by going to Those Guys Radio. You search up either Those Guys Radio, Those Guys, or Those Guys on the Radio. Also, we have ourselves a YouTube account. Search up Those Guys on the Radio or TGOTR. You'll be able to find our podcasts on there. We're constantly updating that YouTube account with more and more podcasts. We also have exclusive podcasts, which we have up on our Bandcamp account, tgotr.bandcamp.com. Currently, we have 2 podcasts up. We have WWE SummerSlam 2005 pay-per-view review. Also, we have ourselves a WWE Unforgiven 2005 pay-per-view review. And you can get those both separately for the low price of $1. Any more if you want to support us, but $1 at the least, exclusive content. And also coming up, Tristan and I, we recorded a riff on the 10th. It was the 10th episode, right, of Dragon Ball Z, the one with Mr. Robot. It was 10, right? Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah, we're going to upload that to Matt's Riffs and Dubs, which is also located on Bandcamp. I'll be posting that link as soon as I get that up and running. And of course, we have a Gmail account as well, thoseguysintheradio@gmail.com. Definitely email us if you want to, tell us different show ideas. Hey, this show would be cool. Hey, that show would be cool. Or if you want to, promote something on our show, we can definitely talk to you about what to promote on our show, because we would totally love to promote your product, your item, or your service on our show. So, yeah, here we are.
And
we're at the end. Yes, and rest. We're at the end. But again, right, as always, we like to thank you guys for listening to Those Guys. So, say goodnight, Tristan.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night.